Alright, hello everybody, especially the people from forums, because I'm going to post this in the forums as soon as this video is uploaded, because I want y'all to see Kallari is not a bad character, and I'm sorry for my scratchy voice. I kind of feel shitty right now, but as you can see, I'm level 8 with her. She is my main, uh, and just in case you're wondering, I am a tester. That is a fact. As soon as the game dropped, I went out there and got it, and I do own the master pack. So, with that said, uh, as you can see on my overview right here, I've only had 4 days of play, and I'm only at level 31. And I know, you're all gonna say, oh, why aren't you level 50? If you were a tester, you should be level 50 by now. Well, that's not true. I don't sit here on my ass and I don't sit here and play this game 24 fucking 7. No, I might log on every other day or once a day and play like 1 or 2 games, and that's it. But if I sat here and I constantly played, I would probably be level 50. I'd have more time played, more games won, and yeah, I'd have all his stats would be a lot larger, but I don't sit on my ass all day and play this damn game. But when I do play, I am normally Kallari. She is like the boss. When I started playing this game, I did start off with Murdoch. Yeah, that's it. I did play Gideon a couple of times, but overall, the third and final hero that I stuck with was Kallari. Now back then she was a hell of a lot harder to play with, but right now she's still a expert level character to use. She's still kind of difficult to use if you're a new player. So I'm gonna kind of go over how I use her, my deck, and everything. Uh, but Kallari isn't the only character I use. I've been trying to get into other characters here recently, like Iggy and Scorch, Chimera. I'm also OP with Chimera. I've used Greystone a couple of times. Uh, and I'm trying to use Gadget and Iggy and Scorch right now. I'm trying to get the hang of them, and I'm trying to learn them. But right now we're focused on Kallari. So let's get right into it. Well, everybody says she sucks now. Uh, her teleport ability. They say people hate it. Well, I honestly can only say that is your own fault. If you play Kallari and you say she sucks now, I'm assuming that you go into a PvP, you use her, and you lose. I cannot stress this enough. Kallari is not a lane character. A lot of you might say she is, but she is not. She is actually far from it. Kallari is an assassin, a ganker, a jungler, and that's what she's primarily focused on. Now, as you can see, I'm level 8. I've done said this like once or twice, and yeah, she's a jungler. What more can I say? Now, let's get into her abilities a little bit. Slash, her basic attack, just it's kind of slow. It's kind of how did I put it? It's delayed is what I like to call it. I wish it was a little bit faster, and you can work on this if you build your deck right, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But Slash is just her basic attack, and I don't have much to say about that. Now, the second one is backflip. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all know how backflip works. You can jump twice, either into going forward or backwards. Now, the tip I can give with this is do not use backflip when you have it. The only time you should ever use backflip is if you are in the jungle or even in a team fight and you see your health is starting to go down fast. Like say a Grux hits you once and it takes down a good portion of your health. That's when you're going to want to use backflip, and you're going to use, where is it, Shadow Walk to escape. What I do is I start off with Shadow Walk, like I press it and count to 1. Once the 1 hits, I do a backflip and I kind of disappear mid-air, and it kind of confuses the enemy. That way they can't track me. And another tip, when you're in Shadow Walk, this is very simple. You might get hit once or twice, but I cannot stress this enough. Sorry, I'm kind of winded right here. what you want to do is when you enter the shadow plane, people are going to keep going the way they saw you walking. Like if you're walking backwards facing the enemy when you go into the shadow plane, they're going to keep going that way. So I found out the best strategy to do is when you go into shadow walk, walk towards and behind them and then like go around. Just avoid them completely. You might get hit once or twice and they're going to try to guess where you are. Now, when that happens, and they keep guessing where you are, then you're obviously doing something wrong, because if you can't get behind the motherfucker, and you can't walk behind them just to escape, you're doing something wrong. If you have your backflip while you're in Shadow Walk, use it to get over the fucking ledge and escape. Because she is a very fragile character. Alright? She's just fragile. Uh, she's gonna be fragile if you don't use health like I don't. I do not use health. I focus mainly on her attack speed, and I think I've only got one card for her attack speed. And yeah, the rest is physical damage. Crippling Dagger, I hope you're a good aim with it, but the best time to use that is when you're in the shadow plane and you're coming up behind the enemy hero that you're wanting to gank. You stay in your shadow plane, or the shadow walk, you stay invisible, and you gotta aim carefully. The tip with this I can give is when you see the enemy start backing away, try to aim a little bit ahead of that enemy. Like they're backing up, aim a little bit ahead and throw it. No, half the time they will run into it, and the other half you're probably going to miss. Unless you're a boss and have gotten good with the crippling dagger like I have. I use different ways of doing it, but you can find your own way. Now, Death Sentence. I've been waiting to get on this one. There's not much to say about it, but now that it's a teleport, and Kallari is an assassin slash skinker slash jungler, etc. Death Sentence might help you get over, it does help you get over into team fights and everything, but that is not what it's primarily used for. I like to call Kallari the kill-stealing queen. Bleh, I have a stutter going on, sorry. But she's the kill-steal queen, or the last hit queen is more rational to say. So, you're looking around the map, you have your death sentence up, it's ready to go. Alright, you're looking around the map, you see an enemy that's starting to run away from your teammate, and he can't quite catch up to him. He has one sliver of health left. That is when you use Death Sentence to finish him off and make a clean escape. Now, if that motherfucker is under the tower, you better hope you can escape the tower before it kills your ass. Half the time I can, I don't know what y'all can do. Hopefully I have enough time to show you my gameplay. If not, I'll do a little bit of gameplay in another video. But yeah, use your abilities wisely. Don't use backflip or shadow walk unless you're getting ganked. Crippling Dagger is a good thing to use in the jungle if you're wanting to finish off minions in the early game. And use it in shadow walk if you're going after a hero. And that's pretty much all I could say about the abilities. They're not much to it. They are kind of tricky to get the hang of, but I believe in y'all. Y'all can do it. Just quit hating on Kallari. Alright, I just want to look at the skins real quick. I really want her master skin. It looks fucking badass, but I do like her Red Death one. Now, let's get into the deck. Her deck that I have built for her. And I know most of y'all are not going to have the same cards that I do, and that's alright. Just use my deck as an example, and hopefully it will help y'all in the future. I hope and pray to God that it does. Alright, so, the first is the Prime card, which I chose the Warlord for obviously the physical damage. A lot of people would use health, but I'm risky. I like that fucking challenge to go after people. Alright, so I got the extra physical damage and the unique minion bonus. Now we're gonna go over here. Sorry, I keep trying not to get winded, but I'm talking way too fast. Too much right now. But I'm trying to cram all this into one short video as fast as I can, so that way, one, the upload time isn't too long, and two, the video doesn't cut me off at some point, because I'm not exactly sure how long the video is. Anyway, the consumables I have is Health Potion, Mana Potion, Fist of Kings, and Touch of Thieves. The reason why I have the Health Potion and Mana Potion with no ward, I don't have that fucking 1-point ward up here, because frankly it sucks. It just flat out ballsy sucks. And that's the way I'm going to put it. Fist of King and Touch of Thieves are for late game, and I put these toward they're kind of like an option. If I see a lot of people are using armor, I'm going to go with the Fist of Kings because it will tear through their damn armor and allow that physical damage to hit in. And Touch of Thieves is if they're not really building armor and they still do a decent amount of damage. This will hit them and I'll get some life back, and yeah, we're good. Now, I hardly ever use the mana potion. The reason why is because I'm very conservative of my abilities and I pick and choose who I want to fight. And half the time I don't have to use most of my abilities because my basic attack will be doing hella damage by the time I start going into the lanes. Health potion I do use kinda often, but I'll explain when I use that after I explain the other card. Now, with the fact that she's a jungler said, let's get into what I use. Starting off right off the bat, most people use the health potion, the mana potion, and one other 1-point card, starting off with their 3 cards. That is not the case with me. In my case, I start off with the Stalker's Key. Reason is, since Kallari is a jungler, and I'm a greedy-ass jungler, she has the responsibility of harvesters, buffs, well, half the time the buffs, and minions, so that way she can get her power up and become more OP late game, because she is a late game bloomer. Now, if I can find the damn, there it is. Stalker's Key. Reason why I think it's one of the best cards she can have early game. The reason why is 1, 3-second harvester placement time. Duh, that's like fucking balls. It's amazing. It has 2.5 life still, and what makes this card unique to me is basic attacks on jungle minions restore 8 health. And if you're a jungler and you're a veteran with Kallari, you know how big of a pain in the ass doing jungle is, and Kallari being frail as hell. Like, she's hella frail, and by the time you get finished with one fucking pool, you're already down to half health, and when you go to the other one, you're liable to die if you don't play it right. I mean, if you don't use the Stalker Key, then Crippling Dagger is your best friend in the jungle. But the Stalker's Key is pretty fucking good. Alright? Now, I keep that until about mid-game, and then I discard it to get my, I want to say 4th card. Now, before I discard it, here's the build I have going. The second card I'll get is the Assassin's Ward, because it is a jungler's job to ward shit. Because it'll give you an eye on where to go, yada yada yada. I don't really want to explain my tactics right now, I'll just show that in game if I have time. But, yeah, I have the Assassin's Ward with 3 major strikes. Obviously, physical damage is key. The next card I normally get will be Void Steel Dagger. That's depending on the enemy team's build. If they are building damage, then yeah, I'll build damage. Or, honestly, let me rephrase that. It depends on how I feel at the time. I really don't know how to explain that even any more than it is. But again, 3 more major strikes. And if you don't want to start off with even more damage and you just want to get those hits in as fast as you can, then get a Windcarver Blade. There it is. No. There. No. Son of a bitch. Where'd it go? Is it in the deck? I have no idea. Oh, there it is. Well, I misspoke. Normally, on a Windcarver Blade, I will have these 3 cards right here. The Major Kinetic, Kinetic, and Kinetic. But since I had an epic card, I went ahead and used it, and I totally forgot they had epic cards right now. How about that? Oh well, but yeah, if you want to go ahead and get your hits in, go ahead and get a card with attack speed on it. And normally I just choose 1 card with it, because that's all she really needs to get those hits in and kill your ass. But normally the 2nd and 3rd card will be Void Steel Daggers because of the physical damage and physical penetration. She will cut through that armor like butter. Now, if that's not enough for you, I got a Marrowed Fangs right here. It's 4 cost card, and I gave it 3 armor penetration cost cards. Now, if you're not cutting through their armor or their health by now, you're doing something wrong. Or they are a dick and building on the health. If that's the case, you better outsmart their ass. And that's normally what the case is going to be. If they seal with the building, and if they're smart, they're going to try to build against you. So you gotta outsmart their ass. And that's where it gets fun. I'm going to leave that up to you. Alright? You, the audience, is going to choose when to outsmart the character if they're building against you. That is a community challenge for you, and I want you to comment below if you've done this.